Hello everybody, welcome to Staring Down the Darkness. I'm Danny. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, what I do here in this channel is I talk about depression and anxiety, how it affects me and my life and other people, and how it may be affecting people in your life or yourself. If this is your first time to the channel, please hit that subscribe button down there. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. And hit the bell for future notifications of future videos. And if you don't mind, while you're there, hit that thumbs up button too. That helps me a lot. So today, I want to kind of reflect on facing mortality, facing our own mortality. Yesterday, the basketball legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter, as well as 7 other people, were killed in a helicopter crash in California. Sad and tragic. When I saw the news, actually I didn't see it on the news at first. I had somebody call and tell me it had happened, and I didn't believe it. My first reaction was no. That's got to be false. Somebody got something wrong, or it's a hoax on the internet or something like that. And when it was confirmed that it was true, it just took the breath out of me. It brought back memories of other tragic events that I have lived through, and I've been around a while. I remember when John F. Kennedy Jr.'s plane went down, and all the outpouring of love and support and the hope that they were still alive, and the search for the bodies and all that. I remember when I believe it was that same year, Princess Diana died in a car crash, and the shock and sadness all over the world when that happened. I remember when Kurt Cobain was killed, or killed himself, whatever you believe. I remember, as far as sports goes, I remember going back to being a kid in 1974 when Roberto Clemente, a great baseball player with the Pittsburgh Pirates, was out doing humanitarian work, I believe he was trying to get supplies to an area in the Bahamas, or maybe the Dominican Republic, somewhere around there. I don't remember, forgive me. But he was trying to get emergency aid to the people down there, and his plane crashed. And it was the same outpouring of shock and sadness. But in 1979 or 80, the catcher for the New York Yankees, Thurman Munson, went down in a small plane crash. And again, just it was shock and sadness. But Kobe Bryant was kind of on another level as far as athletes go. He had retired just 4 years ago, but he still was an icon to even young kids. Kids knew who he was. I don't think I've ever seen a basketball shoot around or anybody shooting hoops with young people where somebody doesn't take a jump shot and yell Kobe when they do it. And that's just that's a statement to his legacy. It's a statement to his enduring appeal, his enduring mark that he made on the game and on people's imagination. And it's so terrible when you lose someone that still has so much to do. I'm not just thinking of Kobe either. I'm thinking about everybody on that plane. There were other kids on that plane teammates of his daughter on that plane, who was probably on her way to becoming an icon in the WNBA if she had kept up like she was doing. She had her father's basketball smarts and jump shot. So I guess in lieu of all this, in light of all this, I'm still a little shaken about it, if you can't tell. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how things like this can trigger us and make us remember that our day's coming too, and make us face mortality, make us face that we're not as young as we used to be, make us face that maybe we haven't done everything we wanted to do yet. So I think this is something, however, that needs to be talked about. Kobe was 41, his daughter was 13. I don't know the exact ages of the other people on the plane, but the girls had to be around that 13, 14-year-old age as well, the other ones. And it makes you remember how fragile life is, how temporary life is. And in times like this, people always say things like, make sure and tell your folks you love them, or make sure and tell your family, your friends you love them, and hug your kids and all this. And that's something you should do anyway. But it also, especially for people like us with depression and anxiety, we're always having to push thoughts of our own mortality or the mortality of our loved ones out of our heads on a daily basis. And this really puts it in our face and doesn't let us push it away. And it can be very jarring, very triggering, and very debilitating sometimes. Yesterday, I couldn't get anything done after I heard the news. I just sat there and watched the coverage and the reports come in shock, and kind of just, there were things I had planned to do, but I couldn't get the energy together to do it anymore. My mind wasn't in it, my heart wasn't in it. And all I could think about was death and how fragile everything is. You see athletes like Kobe and the amazing things they can do, and the iron will that they have to compete and to win at a high level. And you think, well, they're going to live for a long time. They're strong, they're powerful, they're wealthy, they're famous, and they've got everything, and they're going to have a long, happy, healthy life. And it just goes to show you that death doesn't play favorites. Now, somebody like me, I always tend to remember the deaths and the losses. And so what does it make me think about? It makes me think about, when's the next loss that's going to happen in my life? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be someone I love? Is it going to be somebody close to me? And how am I going to deal with it? So it makes you think in ways that you don't want to think. You don't want to think about that kind of stuff. And so sadness starts to seep in. Darkness kind of invades your mind. And everything just seems heavy and dark. And that leads in some cases, to bouts of depression. It leads to anxiety. It leads to pain. A lot of people don't understand when people get upset about people they don't know dying, famous people, or just people in the news. They hear about a death and people react to it as if it was somebody they knew. And a lot of other people, you don't even have anything to do with that person. You don't know that person. Why are you so upset? And I think that's why, is because it triggers in us the inevitable of soon that's going to be me, or soon that's going to be someone I love. Not only that, but when it's somebody famous, if it's somebody you like or somebody that's been around a long time and has made an impression on you, then you're mourning the loss of that part of your life and that image in your head. And, you're faced with the fact that you're getting older because this is now gone and this is in the past. You'll never have this again. I think I said in a video previously that when Prince died, when Michael Jackson died, it hurt deeply. When Freddie Mercury died, it hurt deeply because this was my childhood. This was part of who I was back then. And it is a reminder that that is gone. And you'll never have that again. You may be able to pull out photos and scrapbooks and pictures and videos or records or CDs or playlists and be able to relive it to a degree. But you will never be the person you were when that happened. Again, you'll never be in that time period with those same people again. And a lot of us, it makes us sad because we're facing time passing. We are facing getting older, and we're facing the fact that mortality is going to affect us sooner or later, or both. So, even as we face this, as hard as it is, it can just be a check-in with ourselves to make sure that we understand that there are things to do and there are things to say and there is love to show before we go or before anybody close to us goes. We can't be afraid anymore to hold back what we want to do, what we want to say, what we want to experience, what we want to make out of our lives. Because we're not here forever. And I guess if Kobe taught us anything, it's to embrace the now. To not let anything stop you. And that failure is okay if you learn from it. It's just another experience. And experiences are what make up life. And life right now is all we have. We don't know what's out there after this. Everybody has their beliefs. But all we really know as a people is that we have now. We have today. And if there's anything you want to say, anything you want to do, any love you want to show, any experience you want to have, now's the time to do it. We're never promised tomorrow. So, if we can take something positive out of this tragic circumstance, let it be known that we are here. And there are things to be done. So for Kobe and for his daughter and everybody on that plane, helicopter, stand up and do something you want to do today. Don't be afraid. Fear has no place here. Just get up and do it. Even if you don't do it well, don't let anything stop you. Just do it. Kobe would want you to. I want you to. My cat wants you to. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you get out of your sadness. I hope you do something today that you want to do. Subscribe, like the video, hit the bell for future notifications, and leave me some comments down there. Tell me what your memories of Kobe are, what's something you want to do that you haven't been able to do or haven't had the courage to do, and do you think you're going to get around to doing it? Let me know your thoughts on mortality. Where were you when you heard the news yesterday? I read all my comments, and I appreciate every one of them. So until I talk to you again, remember you're not alone. We fight alone, but we fight together. And you're important. You matter. Hang in there. Keep your head up. I'll talk to you soon. Kobe.